It's called the Diefenbunker. It is named after our Prime Minister Diefenbaker, and it is a Cold War museum. This is a Sunday. I've never been there. Well, no, that's not true. I was there when they were a client of mine. I have not been there in my private life. And it is a time capsule. It's like so cool as to what would have happened if a bomb went off, and I guess the chosen few, I'm really not sure who those people would have been. The chosen few got to live for the next, 50 years underground. But the part underground is where I'm taking you to today, and quite honestly, it's what Canada built in the event of a nuclear disaster. And what was amazing is that it was built for 30 days of survival. We're now a little more aware that 30 days wouldn't have been enough. But it's so cool to go underground and see. If you were one of, I think, 500 people that survived, this is what your life is going to be like.
For a new danger, the atomic bomb. But we can't survive. The Emergency Measures Organization says we can take 11 steps to aid that survival. Step 1.
location over there.
So what would it have done in the event that this was all locked down?
This would have been where the official communications would have come out of. So if this was locked down, event of war or something, you'd have a functioning government here, and presumably they'd have to communicate to the outside world. So the communications would have come out of here. Until such time there was a war, the station, if it had to transmit, would transmit via cables to a location near Perth, where an antenna farm and transmitter farm was, so that as not to reveal the location of the bunker with radio signals. But in the event that after a war and it was disconnected to Perth or whatever, there was emergency transmitters set up here to radiate signals from this location.
Is it still really cool for you to work here?
Oh.
Like it seems to me like so incredibly cool, but do you get used to it after a while?
This was a hobby of mine back since I was a teenager, and I joined the Navy as a radio operator, and then haven't done much of this for many, many years working in the private sector. So getting back on the hobby, my main interest is promoting the hobby to young people so that we would have skills to operate radios in the event we had to fall back on radios. And so I teach Morse code to scouts and to sea cadets and so on, and to adults that need to learn Morse code to get an endorsement on their amateur radio license.
Also, my dad was a Navy man. Thank you for your service.
No,